Verse 47, Sri Vishnu Sahasranama Stotram. Anirvinnaha stavisto bhuhu Dharmayupo Mahamakaha Nakshatra Nemir Nakshatri Kshamaha Kshama Samihanaha Anirvinnaha Stavistaha Abhuhu Dharmayupaha Mahamakaha Nakshatra Nemihi Nakshatri Kshamaha Kshamaha Samihanaha. Anirvinnaha means griefless, one who has no nirveda, grief. Nirveda means the sense of disinterestedness that comes to the bosom of one who could not fulfill his passions in life or his passionate desires in life. But the Lord is one who is griefless, as in the first place he has no desires to fulfill, so he has no nirveda. In his fullness and perfectness, purnatvam, he has no more any desires to fulfill, and therefore the Lord has no occasion to suffer from any sense of nirveda. Actually, this is a very good message to the entire humanity. If we are able to cultivate a sense of disinterestedness arising from lack of extreme desires, a person can get this benefit of anirvinnaha. He can reach the griefless state. Because of this great quality, he has filled the entire universe in his gross form, manifested form, as Sthavistaha. That is, he has manifested as the cosmic form. Sthavistaha means one who is supremely gross, the entire cosmos being his own form. He himself is the universe, and as such, in his total manifestation, he is supremely gross. That is why we always say Vishwam and Vishnu, the creation and the creator, are one and the same. And this is beautifully illustrated in Bhagavad Gita in chapter 11 when Krishna shows his Vishwarupa to Arjuna. Wonderstruck, Arjuna exclaims in verse 20 of this chapter, Yava prithivyoh idam antaram hi vyaptam tvaya ekena dishascha sarvaha Dhyava prithivyormidamantram hi vyaptam tvayekena dishascha sarvaha. Arjuna says, heaven and earth and interspace and the space between heaven and the earth and all the quarters, all the 10 directions are indeed pervaded by you alone. What Arjuna is trying to say is, I don't see anything or any place or any being which is not you. As he appears in a cross form, we should not mistake that the Lord is also like us. He is not. He is not born. He has no birth and hence he has no death. He is unborn. Abhuhu. Abhuhu, unborn. One who has no birth, or the one having realized whom, the seeker will have no more births. Both these meanings can come. Either you can say the Mahavishnu is unborn, or we can also understand that one who realizes Supreme himself will also have no more births. That means he will transcend the cycle of continuous, unending chain of birth and death. Two names, Savishtaha and Abhuhu. Appearing in this verse together, they can be read as Stavistobhuhu, or we can split them as Savishtaha and Bhuhu. In that case, instead of Abhuhu, The name will appear as Bhuhu, which means the earth. Just as the earth is the stage upon which the entire of life is being played, Lord is the substratum upon which the entire world of experiences are played about. So, Abhuhu or Abhuhu, both can be interpretations. Lord is the very post to which all dharmas, that is righteousness, shastras, they are tied to. Dharma Yupaha. Yupa, Yupaha is the name given to the post to which the sacrificial animal is tied in a Vedic sacrifice, what we called a yaga or a yagna. Now the Lord is compared to such a post in a yagna, meaning thereby that Lord is like a post to which all the dharmas, all the principles, all pramana are tied to or they are dependent upon the Supreme. This means he is the very essence behind all righteousness. All activities in conformity with dharma are done keeping the Supreme in view. So he personifies the very act of sacrifice. So he is Maha Makaha. Maka is Yagna, sacrifice. Maha Makaha, the great sacrifice. He is the sacrifice himself, or we can say he is the person conducting the sacrifice. He is called a great sacrificer because sacrifices are dedicated to him to confer total liberation, nirvana. Yagno dharmascha vigneyaha. The Lord is praised as Yagna itself. He is not different from Yagna. He is Yagna. Yagno vai Vishnuhu. One more saying. And this is brought out very beautifully again in Bhagavad Gita, one of the most popular verses. This is normally to be chanted before we take even our food. Every time when we take food, it is desirable to chant this verse. This is in chapter 4, verse 24. Brahmarpanam Brahmahavihi Brahmagnau Brahmanahutam Brahmaiva Tena Gantavyam Brahma Karma Samadhina. It means Brahma Arpanam Brahma Havihi Brahma Agno Brahmana Hutam Brahma Eva Tena Gantavyam Brahma Karma Samadhina. The act of offering is Brahman. The oblation that is offered is Brahman. It is offered by Brahman in the fire of the Brahman. For a yogi established in Brahman, that is Brahma Karma Samadhina, the destination, Phalam, the Gantavyam, is also Brahman. Gantavyam eva Brahma. ब्रह्मार्पणं ब्रह्मभिः ब्रह्माग्नौ ब्रह्मणाहुतं ब्रह्मैव तेन गन्तव्यं ब्रह्मकर्म समाधिना. Now, coming to a slightly different aspect, stars, which is the basis of astrology, stars and planets are the basis of astrology. All these celestial bodies rotate as per his will only. He is the focal point. The Supreme is the focal point of the entire celestial system. He is called Nakshatra Nemihi. Nakshatra Nemihi means the name of the stars. He is the focal point. He is the central point. He is a fulcrum. He is a hub around which all the stars rotate. Stars and planets, including the sun, moon, and other planets, always move around. For this brilliant growing wheel of light, Lord is the very axle. Lord is the very hub. Now, moon is considered to be Lord of the stars. Hence, Vishnu is described as the moon also. Nakshatri. Nakshatri means moon. One who is the Lord of the stars. Lord of the stars is the moon. And again, Bhagavad Gita says, Bhagavad Gita's Krishna identifies himself with the moon. Nakshatranam aham shashi. Among the stars, I am the moon. Again, this is verse 21, chapter 10, Vibhuti Yoga, Srimad Bhagavad Gita. In performing his cosmic functions, he always, the Supreme, he displays infinite, unlimited patience. Shamaha. Shamaha is patience. One who has extreme patience with all the shortcomings and limitations of the devotees. In Ramayana, Lord Rama is Lord Rama is his patience is compared with that of the Mother Earth, because Mother Earth is supposed to be the embodiment of patience and fortitude. What is that we are not doing? How much problem, how much torture we are creating for the Mother Earth? Still, she will only bestow good. She will only give you all resources without no living being can ever survive on the earth. So Rama, Mahavishnu as Rama is compared with Prithvi. Shamaha, Prithvi Samaha. In patience and fortitude, Rama is very much like Mother Earth. Or Rama is equal to Samaha, is equal to Prithvi, Mother Earth. Now, Kshamaha also means one who is supremely efficient in all undertakings. A slightly different name, Kshamaha, meaning is different. The Supreme, with infinite patience, is indestructible, undecaying, eternal, Shaswata, Kshamaha, indestructible, one who ever remains without any sort of a scarcity, Kshama. This scarcity is Kshama. Okay. During the final deluge, all things in the world dissolve and perish. But even then, the Lord remains untouched by all destruction. So he is called Kshamaha. After the entire universe is dissolved in Pralaya, Supreme Being, the Mahavishnu, has the well intentioned desire to create again. So he is called Samihanaha, well wisher. Samihana is one whose desires are always auspicious. Suspicious is the wrong word. I'm sorry, it's a mistake. Whose desires are auspicious. The Lord is considered as well desiring, as he always desires the well being of all his creatures and at all times. He knows how to control and regulate his power of desiring, what is called Icha Shakti, and thus he is extremely efficient in his creative activity. Because of such auspicious and benevolent attitude, he is worshipped as Yagna. Yagna is the very first name in the next verse, which we'll take up in the next episode. Om Sarvesham Swastirbhavatu Sarvesham Shantirbhavatu Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu Om Shanti Shanti Shanti